What's up, everyone?
I'm Zane,
I'm Daniel.
and this is
Grapes of Growth. So, today we're gonna talk about server-side tagging. Zan, what is it?
well, you're familiar with the regular GTM or the traditional GTM tracking on the client side. Yeah, because I've seen you do it. I've seen you,
Yes,
get your
yes.
hands dirty with that.
Yes, there.
But this is different. This is like the tagging happens on the server itself, right? So it's not happening on the user's device. The container isn't loaded on the website itself, but it's loaded on the server side. So basically what it means is that you're not reliant on third-party cookies. You have much more reliable data, and you have full control of the data that is going to third-party vendors.
So, you're basically saying that it's like setting up a tag, kind of like through GTM, but instead of GTM, it's implemented in the server and not on the website.
No, you're still using GTM. So basically, you have the same UI, you have the same similar functionalities. You have tags, you have triggers, you have events. There is one new thing, which is the client, right? You have to set up a client in GTM. But if you're familiar with setting up tags and triggers and custom variables in GTM, you know how to use this for server-side tagging also.
So, is the domain still the playground, so to say, where the tags are implemented when you're using server-side tagging?
Yes. Basically, you have a kind of like a cloud platform that can be on your domain yourself or on a subdomain. I think with server-side tagging, it's being popular now after summer because Google got into the game. So Google released Google Tag Manager public beta for this. So now that Google is in the game, it's gonna be big. It's gonna be huge, and it only works with Google Cloud Platform nowadays. But there might be some other options in the future.
So does this mean that you're not reliant on third-party cookies anymore?
Yes, and if you haven't seen our video on third-party cooking being deprecated in Google Chrome, watch it, because Daniel explains on what it means in marketing.
Check the comments below.
So this is the next step from that, right? So this is basically not being reliant on third-party cookies, and there are many MarTech platforms that are reliant, but they need to figure out a way. I mean, there is a way. They need to start investing in their own APIs so that they can communicate with servers, and the servers can send data to these vendors also.
So how easy is it to get it into this server-side tagging? Can anybody do it?
Anybody that has experience with GTM client-side tagging, it's of course going to be easier for them. The UI is same. There are a couple of new things like the client, but if you know how to use GTM, it's going to be fairly easy for you to start using this GTM public beta for server-side.
So how to transition into this? If you have the basic tagging at the moment in place, should you, and when should you switch to server-side tagging?
Basically, I'd say that now is a good time to play around and kind of see what you're comfortable with. It's not like like this. It's not like switching from client side to server side completely. You can still have like a hybrid solution where you have a bunch of your tags on the client side, sending data, and then some other ones on the server side. The ones that are reliant on that are reliant on third-party cookies, they could still be on the client side, and then you can play around with the other server-side tags.
How does it work exactly?
Well, this is basically the client, right? I don't know if you can see this, but this is the browser, and normally you have vendors here. This is Facebook, and this is Google. So the browser is, I'm not gonna press this, but let's say that there's some liquid coming in towards these pens, right? So, so the browser is sending data, which is liquid in this situation, to these vendors. But then you have your server with this new setup. You have your server in the middle. It's pouring liquid in your server, and then you have full control over how much liquid and what liquid you pour, beyond that. So I hope this was a good explanation, and this liquid is basically data that is sent through HTTP requests and sent back through HTTP response.
That's some
liquid.
No,
it's Corona, man.
No, that's some vivid explanation, everyone. Thank you, Zen.
I'm going to link a really good article from Simo Ahava. He has a really good article on this topic. It has everything you need to get started and more. And yeah, just start playing around with it. You can have a hybrid solution. You can transition some of your tagging to server side and start, playing around with that.
And maybe someday Simo Ahava will be here to tell you more about it with us.
And this is Grapes of Growth.
Grapes of Growth.